So hey everyone, my name is Sean. I'm going to be talking about the bystander effect. So like in 2012, you all remember Giants, they won the Super Bowl or whatever. So there was like this fight afterwards, and then no one broke it up. They just took out their cell phones and like recorded it. And no one helped out, so that's why I was interested in this bystander effect. And we've all been in fights before, so we all know that like we wanted someone to jump in and help us out, but people don't do that in fights, right? So did a little research or something about it, and so my thesis is this effect is cool and we should learn more about it. And my preview is we'll talk about our background, we'll talk about my second main point, and then we'll talk about the implications of the bystander effect. So back in like 1964, there was this chick named Kitty Genovese something, and she got like murdered by some dude or whatever, and like 38 of her neighbors didn't like heard her get murdered and didn't see it happen, or they saw it happen, but they didn't help out. So these researchers, Latane and Darley, however you want to pronounce that, decided to do some research on it, and so they defined it as, you can read it right there, it says, refers to the phenomenon that an individual's likelihood of helping decreases when passive bystanders are present in a critical situation. So like basically the more people there are, the less likely they are to respond to emergency situations. So what is an emergency? There's 5 things that emergency is. There's that makes an emergency. First, there's well-being or property is in danger. The second thing is the situation must be an uncommon occurrence. The third thing is nature of an emergency is different from case to case, meaning that like all emergencies are unique. Fourth, there's little to no preparation made due to its uniqueness. And finally, emergencies require immediate action. So basically, emergencies are bad things. We all know what an emergency is, so I won't spend too much time on it. So the second point that I have, oh, that's right. The second point is the causes, and the researchers Latane and Darley. Latane and Darley in 1968, they published this study so basically they put this person in a room and they started filling the room with smoke, and then so you notice there's one person, when there was one person in the room alone, they responded to the smoke really quickly. They said like, hey, you know, there's smoke or whatever. And then if there was a group though, they noticed that it took a lot longer for them to actually react to it, which is weird because they predicted that would make it better. And when there were people who didn't react to the smoke at all, the person that was alone reacted even less than that. So it was like really, really shocking. We should really pay attention to this. The second, how much time do I have left?
4 minutes.
Got some time to blow. So the next point is this thing called diffusion of responsibility. I don't even know what that means. But according to an article by Marsh and Keltner, they state that the diffusion of responsibilities, when we see other people witness to an emergency, we feel like there's less personal responsibility to intervene. So like if I see people out there, and it shows like right here in this, right here, that if I see people not doing anything, I'm less likely to do stuff. So you can see it right there on the chart. So let's got a third main point. So my third main point is that while its implications. So basically, there's like further areas that we need to research, I guess. The first is that we need to consider our emergency training. Basically, like if we are training our emergency people, they need to be more effective. So they need to know how to better react in emergencies, and emergency people don't necessarily know that. But understanding the bystander effect will help them understand that better. So yeah, and then the second implication is that, like, well, I mean, what does this say about our society, right? If we're not helping out our fellow man or whatever, like, you should be helping out each other, right? So You need to go out there and you need to make sure that you're helping each other. Like if you see someone getting shot, like call the cops, right? You need to make sure you're doing that, especially you. Yeah, you need to make sure you're doing good stuff. So finally, we're gonna conclude this speech. So restate thesis. So again, the bystander effect is really cool, and I'm glad that I could talk to you about it. We talked about the background information or stuff. The next thing we talked about was causes. There's some more pretty pictures for you. And then there we go. The last thing is that the last thing we talked about is implications, right? So be a better citizen and go out there and help. So even though we don't have a football team, the next time you see a fight at a parade or whatever, you should go and help out. We're all experts at calling 911. So thank you very much.